The High Court on Wednesday dismissed the case against opposition leader Dr. Denzil Douglas, challenging his eligibility as a Member of Parliament because he possessed and used a diplomatic passport. The government had brought Dr. Douglas to court seeking to have him disqualified as a member of the National Assembly, contending that by him possessing and using a diplomatic passport of Dominica, he contravened Section 28(1)(a) of the Constitution of St. Kitts and Nevis. The government also sought to bar him from the National Assembly and from fulfilling his role as a Member of Parliament, making his seat vacant. But in an hour-long delivery of his judgment on Wednesday, Justice Ward dismissed the government's claim that Dr. Douglas's possession and use of a diplomatic passport makes him unfit to be a member of the St. Kitts and Nevis National Assembly. The judge heard arguments from both sides in January. Senior counsel Douglas Mendes led arguments for the government side, which contended that Dr. Douglas has allegiance to a foreign power by possessing and using a diplomatic passport from Dominica. The government side used a case as precedent involving American citizen William Joyce with a British passport was found guilty of treason in the House of Lords. However, senior counsel for Dr. Douglas's legal team, Anthony Astafan, argued in January that the opposition leader was offered a diplomatic passport from the government of Dominica as a courtesy. This was so because he was not offered a diplomatic passport from the St. Kitts and Nevis government as is customary. By him possessing a diplomatic passport from Dominica, he has not sworn allegiance to a foreign power. Both sides presented expert witnesses in January. Labour Party supporters and party hierarchy celebrated the court victory on Wednesday, taking to the streets of St. Kitts. Dr. Douglas was off island at the time of the handing down of the judgment, said in a statement issued by the party on Wednesday evening that with this victory, he now looks forward in challenging Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris in upcoming elections. He said, "Today's ruling has been handed down resoundingly in my favor. His Lordship Justice Trevor Ward QC has ruled specially that a diplomatic passport issued to me by the government of Dominica as professional courtesy does not in any way offend the Constitution of St. Kitts and Nevis. I feel a deep sense of vindication upon the judgment of the court." He thanked his legal team and said this case has far-reaching implications for democracy and good governance. He added, "I consider today's victory not just a victory for me as the respondent in the case, but also a victory for all of us because of the far-reaching implications that this case has for democracy and good governance in our Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis." Dr. Douglas is of the view that his Lordship in his ruling has acknowledged that the holding of a diplomatic passport does not call into question his loyalty or allegiance to St. Kitts and Nevis. He said this case was intended as a distraction and to malign and injure his good character and reputation. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.